A lot of people ask us this question: who would win in a war? Find out in the latest episode of Big Facts, USA versus Russia. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notifications button below for more videos like this. First of all, such a conflict would not occur because the cost would be infinitely high for both the states. But let's take a look at this hypothetical situation. First, we consider the parameters, as in what would each country get by winning? In the widest scale, it would mean eliminating the capacity of the opponent to wage war again. Now we do a comparison of their backgrounds, basically a comparison of each opponent's capabilities and limitations. U.S. has a net worth of $90 trillion, which generates about $20 trillion, and the military spends $610 billion. Russia's net worth is $2 trillion, which generates an annual revenue of $2 trillion, within which Russia's army spends about $66 billion. The U.S. is an actual global superpower, with 800 military bases in 70 countries around the world. Russia has 9 bases. Also, U.S. aircraft pilots have way more flight hours than Russian pilots. It goes without saying that U.S. Army is privy to the most exclusive devices to maintain full battlefield awareness. Russian troops train in command structure cooperations. In short, Russia's military logistics are such that the country would not be able to perform a long conventional attack beyond the country borders. U.S. military logistics, however, can maintain a long occupation. What would each of the country's operations look like? In a war where Russia openly invades the Baltic states, they would have 9 combat forces on the border and will be heavily compensated with armor, infantry fighting vehicles, and artillery. There would be a movement of 3 to 6 additional forces to the region as reserves, and in addition to this, 300 assault helicopters, 1,000 combat aircraft, with perhaps a dozen submarines, and 24 corvettes. Their goal would be to reach Estonia and Latvia, and lay siege within 2 days by using conventional mechanized forces. U.S. mobilization would be reactionary and take longer to mobilize and transport in adequate numbers. The Baltic states would have 6 infantry forces for defense and would have outdated artillery. What about U.S. operations? The U.S. would insert 3 combat battalions and special forces units within 48 hours. Being seriously outnumbered by tanks, artillery, and ground attack aircrafts, the combined NATO would be sent to stop the Russians. U.S. would actually team up with the Baltic Army reservists to build strike teams, and they would start attacks on rear areas and particularly targeting Russian commanders for assassination and completing destroying communications. After 48 hours or so, the U.S. and NATO could observe an effective response by using all their bases in Europe, and there are a lot. They also have superior technology, general numbers, pilot training hours, and aircraft supremacy. They would also have supremacy over the Baltics. After that, by using the air forces, they would isolate Russian occupational forces from their suppliers of weapons and cut off their communications as well. This would disrupt reinforcements and replacements and lead to an intense war of attrition. Forces formation from U.S. and NATO would build in Poland, their ally, and Polish forces would systematically reduce Russian forces in their region. Where would the U.S. Navy come in? They would blockade and isolate the Baltic Sea by using standoff attacks. It would neutralize the Russian Baltic fleet and might take around a week. At the same time, Russian forces would be pushing in on the urban pockets of resistance across the Baltics. The Russians would threaten to widen their war by using attacks against other European states, which would include Poland, Germany, and Denmark, or Scandinavian states such as Norway, Sweden, or Finland. Also, it is unlikely that Russia would launch nuclear weapons to the U.S. in fear of retaliation. Russia's medical forces would be kept at a maximum to keep up with the casualties. But let's stop here, because none of this would ever happen. In fact, if Russia and the U.S. relations worsened, the world community would intervene before any actual warfare. Do you like this video? Comment below and we'll pin the best one. Like this video and share it with everyone you know. Subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. This was Big Facts. Tune in for more videos like this that fascinate and inspire you.